What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock, which you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to break down some breaking news that just came out because, according to some 13F filing reports, a massive investment managing firm known as Bailey Gifford has loaded the boat on NIO shares, owning over 96 million of them. So I'm going to break down what on earth the 13F report is showing, why this is very bullish news for NIO, and why on earth this company, right, that manages money for others, right? Billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. Why on earth is it loading the boat on NIO shares if NIO truly is a dead company, right? It does not make sense. They know something that a lot of people are kind of forgetting, and that is that NIO is insanely bullish. They're very bullish for NIO, and they've been just buying like crazy. So I'm going to show you how many NIO shares they bought, why this is very big news for NIO investors, and why on earth I'm very, very bullish for the long-term future. Now, before I break any of the news down, before I give you guys my price prediction, I got to mention a couple of things real quick. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner, so don't take any of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,500. You can always sell these 12 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some NIO shares for free. This is a limited time offer. It ends in just 7 days, so please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So NIO acted almost exactly how I thought it would. I did predict that NIO would drop a little bit into open, get a big bounce, push all the way up and get rejected off 20.8. Then I predicted that NIO would slowly bleed after that and kind of close a little bit below the support zone around $20.11. That was my prediction. Instead, what happened was we actually pushed up into open, so that was a little bit different from what I thought. But besides that, I was correct almost exactly. I did predict that we'd get rejected off 20.8, drop down. We ended up closing like 6 cents above what I thought we would, so I was very, very close, and I was right about NIO dropping just a little bit for the close for today. So that was my previous prediction, and I am anticipating that NIO is going to drop a little bit more for tomorrow. I'm a little bit bearish for tomorrow for the markets, and that's because we have CPI coming out. So CPI is coming out on August 10th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So this is right before the market opens. CPI is going to be absolutely massive. So CPI is actually going to be big because it really shows the future trajectory of the markets and whether or not inflation has peaked for the month of June. So we're going to see what the true signs are. And this is going to be very big because it's also going to lead to some uncertainty, right? There's a lot of uncertainty right now about CPI, and the markets tend to kind of drop a bit before these reports. So I want to remind everyone, all right, that when it comes to CPI, energy makes up a big sector of it. Over 40% of it is priced in by energy, and energy has been going down for the month of July by a lot. If you guys notice the data, gas prices have been going down for most of the USA, and historically, as the data suggests, I think it should be a pretty decent report. Now, until the report comes out on Wednesday before the market opens, I do anticipate some downside for the markets until then. So just to kind of remind you guys, if we go back on NIO's chart like this, you will notice something. Let me actually start off with this. NIO has a tendency, at least for the last 2 weeks, this thing has been just trading back and forth between these ranges. See how this thing is just bouncing between these lines that I pointed out? Then what happened was NIO had a breakout to the upside, and NIO was just trading back and forth between these lines. It has a little bit better volatility than before, but still is trading kind of like back and forth. Now, what I think is going to happen to NIO, though, is I'm a little bit bearish for tomorrow for the markets. I think tomorrow's going to be a red day, and I think that the market's going to kind of be very apprehensive when it comes to what goes on. So NIO has support right now at 20.18, 20.17. It kind of adjusts by a couple of pennies every now and then. So right here, we're very close to where support is. Our next key level of support is that 19.5 range. And if that doesn't hold us, then 19 flat is where this thing could go to. Now, if NIO were to rally, it has resistance at 20.8. If it breaks past that, then 21.5 is where it will go to. Now, what do I think is going to happen for tomorrow? Let me just quickly go over this before I break down the breaking news that came out. Let's actually draw this out like this. So what could happen tomorrow into open is I do anticipate some downside. All right. NIO might kind of open like this, push up, and then all of a sudden kind of tank. And I expect this thing to kind of trade between this range right here. So I think it's going to drop down to 19.5, maybe 19.4. Sometimes it could bounce a little lower than that. And I think that's going to slowly kind of just trade sideways tomorrow, be a pretty boring day, trade back and forth between this range, maybe push up a little bit into close, but then get another rejection and end up closing around the high $19 level. Once again, a little bit in the red. So I am anticipating a bit of a red day tomorrow. It could go a little bit lower than that into maybe like 19.8 or around there. And I don't think it's going to be the most volatile day, but I am anticipating a drop into open kind of like this, followed by some sideways price action. I do expect price action in this range right here between 19.5 and 20. And I do predict NIO is going to close a little bit in the red again because we have CPI coming out. The market tends to kind of tank when the day before it comes. And after CPI, I do think the market's going to improve once we get a pretty good report. I can't guarantee that though, because sometimes bad news leads to good moves from the markets, and good news could lead to the opposite. But I'm a little bit more bullish for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for the markets. Less bullish for tomorrow. I do think the markets are going to be red. So with that out of the way, I mean, I know NIO is going to have red days here and there, but I want to remind you guys about something very important. If I look at the daily chart, all right, and let me actually hide my drawings. I think my drawings are kind of distracting. Check this out. Throughout the months of April, May, even parts of June, NIO was trading in like $11, $13, $15, $16 a share, even 18 at some points. But we saw this thing drop pretty darn hard. It formed this inverse head and shoulders. And during this time, I was telling you guys that I saw this as a very good buying opportunity. Non-financial advice, by the way, but I'm just putting it out there that this was a very good buying opportunity for the long-term future because NIO is its future is super bright. I see this thing going to hundreds of dollars a share in the upcoming years. All right. So if you don't believe me, one of the largest firms out there, one of the largest private partnerships, the one of the largest UK investment businesses out there, which has hundreds of billions of dollars in assets under management, is loading up on NIO. So this is known as Bailey Gifford, and I apologize if I said that wrong. But Bailey Gifford, they are just notorious for making incredibly good investments. They actually make investments based off what their customers really want, their clients. And what you could see right here, according to their ratings, you could see right here, they're one of the top 10 British investment managers with $455 billion in assets under management. Right? This is as of December 31st, 2021. It doesn't change much, but still, hundreds of billions of dollars in assets. They buy into big companies and they're not fooling around with people's money. Okay? They're not throwing people's money down into the dump. They're making intelligent moves with it. And what have they been doing? Well, according to a new report that came out in their 13F filings report, which could actually be found on Fintel, they disclosed ownership of 96 million NIO shares by the end of Q2 2022. They actually showed that they bought about 8 million shares between April and the end of June. So, like I was showing you guys, super good buying opportunity. Between April and the end of June, when NIO was dropping really hard, what are the massive institutions doing? What are the billionaires doing? What are these multi-billion-dollar firms doing? They're buying like crazy. They're buying like crazy. They own almost 100 million NIO shares. That's crazy. That's worth tons of money, right? Hundreds of millions of dollars worth of NIO. I mean, that's what worth billions of dollars. They're putting billions of dollars into NIO. All right? That's how bullish they are. Super, super bullish. Who buys billions of dollars worth of NIO if they think it's a trash company, it's going to die? Guys, it's pretty obvious what is going on. They are very bullish. They're buying because they see specifically their ET7 sedan looked really amazing. Their expansion plans, incredible. Their European expansion is just amazing. If you look at what they put on their Twitter page, NIO tweeted that to celebrate our arrival in 4 European countries, we invited photographers from those countries to hashtag explore the horizon and capture the most beautiful moments in the horizon. So they're letting people know, all right, that Europe is beautiful. They're welcoming other photographers there. They're happy. Look at them expand. I'm very, very excited about this. They're expanding, they're doing very well, and I just see this company flourishing and doing very, very amazing in the future. So for the long-term future, very, very bullish for NIO. I do see this thing making some massive, massive moves, but you have to remain calm, cool, and collected and give them the time they need. For the short term, yes, it may make some bearish moves tomorrow. Maybe the short term it could drop a bit. Long term, and here's kind of like another reminder, okay? What if NIO does drop again in September? Like I told you guys in previous videos, that might end up happening with the FOMC meeting coming and the Fed being aggressive. Well, there might be another opportunity like this where NIO drops down to like 18, 16, 15 a share. That could happen again, right? Very good buying opportunities will come again. And we have the chance. If you missed it, you have another chance. You may have another chance to do what these multi-billion-dollar institutions have been doing, that is buying and holding NIO shares for the long term as they see immense growth potential in this company. And once again, this is clients' money that they're using. They can't throw it into the dumpster because they're bullish, they're excited, they know how big this company is going to be. Anyways, thank you all for listening. Please have a great rest of the day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay strong, NIO to the moon because the long-term future is bright, and peace out.